I do not like this guitar. Or I should rephrase, I don't like how this guitar looks. It's actually a really, really, really nice guitar. For all the money, I mean, I bought this for less than £200. I struggled to get a guitar for that kind of value for money. I would say it's on par with a lot of Fender Telecasters I've had, especially the Mexican range. It's not the relic that I hate, it's how it's done. It's almost like a, I don't know, it's almost like a sticker that's just been glossed over. You know, if the paint was still flaking, or if there was some texture to it, then I might like it a little bit more, but it's kind of just a sort of print on, and yeah. Anyway, I don't like it. I'm going to change it. That's what this video is.
So you've seen the thumbnail, you're wondering, how does this video get to that? Don't worry, it wasn't clickbait. We will get there. But I am going to need your help. I'll explain that towards the end.
Again, I just don't like these little blood. It's just so fake. It's just so fake. The neck isn't bad, actually. I'll give LTD or ESP, I'll give them that. It's got a beautifully cut nut on it. The fret job, they just need a bit of a polish up, but the fret job is actually really good. I'm not sure whether that was the previous guy that I bought it off, maybe he set it up that way. I'm not sure. I do have an idea to make this guitar look a bit better and more my style, if you know what I mean. Don't even get me started on this thing here. Let's get it all stripped down and then I'll talk to you about what my plan is. If you hear any weird noises or snoring in the background, it's because the big man's joined me. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. So at this point I could just repaint the whole body. But the neck is still a relic guitar neck, so if I just repaint the whole body, that means it's not really going to match the neck. And also, I don't have access to a spray booth at the minute. I mean, that's the biggest hurdle of painting this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip the top of it, and I'm either going to use a bit of flamed sycamore and glue this to the top, or a piece of very curly spalted maple, which as you can see is super warped. I'm a little bit afraid that that'll snap because this stuff is so brittle whenever I try to glue it down. So honestly, I might actually leave this maple for a different project and clamp it between two bits of wood to try to straighten it out, because I am scared that that will snap. That's the nicer piece, but yeah, we'll go with the sycamore. This turned out amazing for using the table saw. Obviously messed up there, but that's going to be cut off anyway. Cool. It's been a few days and I've changed my mind about this project. The original plan was to take about 10 millimeters off the top of this body with my planer and then glue a new top onto it. And I actually jointed onto this figured sycamore, and that was what I wanted to glue onto this body. And I think that would be really nice, but I also think it's a bit of a waste. I did something similar with a redwood top, a really highly figured redwood top on an Ibanez Blazer in a previous video, and it worked out amazing, but that was a Blazer from the 1980s, which, you know, was a little bit special. These here are, well, maybe not readily available, but they're available guitars. They're not something rare or particularly special like the Blazer was. So I'm actually just going to sell this body and I'm going to build a new one for the neck. That leaves me a choice. I can stick with the Telecaster shape. I mean, it is a TE 202 on the neck after all. Or I can just say fuck it and build whatever shape I want. Just led me to this. It's a little DIY Jazzmaster shape template that I made last year. I haven't quite got to use it yet. I have a dozen other slabs in the garage lying up that we can choose something for this. So yeah, I think we're going to do Jazzmaster shape and build a Jazzmaster type LTD. I think that's the plan. Oh, okay. Oh, plan B. So this is a chunk of ash. You can see it's cracked and damaged. It's got plenty of defects. But I got it at the auction for very, very cheap. And it's very thick. 3 inches thick, 75 mil, so. We have a body blank now. All we have to do is joint this middle bit to get rid of that gap, get it glued, and then we're ready to cut this out, right at the shape. And yeah, I just need to work out exactly where the center line on this is. Obviously this was a wee DIY job, so I'm kind of probably more around there than where I've drawn, but because obviously we would like the center line to be where the glue joint is, but we'll figure that out later anyway.
changed my mind again.
I've been thinking about this while the glue dried, and as much as I love Jazzmasters and I really want to do one, I also think there's a better shape out there, and I put it to a vote and you guys agreed. The shape I'm going to do is Meteora shape. Now, I'm showing you this body because this is a body that I painted quite a while ago. In fact, a number of years ago. If you're an OG follower from Instagram, you will recognize this body. I am only using that body as a template to make my templates. Although I'm not sure what I'm making the templates out of. I don't have any MDF. But anyway, I'm just going to use that to trace around to get the rough shape. We're not going to talk about that body. I'm just going to pretend like it doesn't exist. Once I get the shape, I'm going to forget about that body and we'll not go there. Let's get this out of clamps and see how the glue up went and draw our body shape on. I think that's what we'll do now. Okay, I've cut it quite wide, not tight to the line, because I want to be absolutely sure that I've got the center line in the center of the body, and I'm not really going to know that till I get my template on it. Plus the router will eat this a lot easier than the jigsaw. That was pretty difficult with that little cheap jigsaw I've got. Again, I'm kind of in between the workshop and the garage here at the minute, so I've got to work with what I've got. I'm going to build a template for my router, and it's probably going to be out of 3/4 inch ply offcuts because that's all I've really got. And yeah, then we'll get the template stuck on it, we'll get it routed out, and we can start shaping this properly. And it won't be too long until we've got a fully functioning guitar body. Template done, no point showing it. I've already done a video on making templates, so here it is. It's getting pretty late. What I'll probably do before I finish up for the night is attach that and just write it out so we have our shape. And this is my rough idea of a center line. I'm not 100% sure. I've kind of eyeballed it, but it looks okay to me. Like I say, at this stage the center line is not too important because I'm just wanting to line it up with the glue line. It'll look a bit odd if I don't get it, but it's not the end of the world at the moment. And obviously plywood, especially something so thick like this 3/4 inch, isn't the ideal material for template building. Ideally you want to use MDF. Plywood chips out a lot. As you can see, I've sanded this to get rid of all those chips, but again, it'll do. Gotta live with what you've got. Yeah, I'm excited to cut this body out, get it shaped up. this is quite a lot of material to take off with the router. Ordinarily I would like to get it as close to the line as possible and then just use the router as the finishing touch. But honestly, doing it with the jigsaw was pretty miserable, and it wasn't cutting through this hard ash as well as I would have liked. And I don't really have many other options at the minute.
Yeah, this has been a journey so far. Ordinarily, I don't like to do two-part videos. I like to do everything all in one video. However, this has been so indecisive, this project, that I feel like I need your help. I need you to help me to decide something. Original plan was to put a new top on this LTD TE202 Telecaster shaped LTD. That then quickly developed into, well, I might as well build a body, which then developed quickly into, let's build a Jazzmaster, which then developed quickly into, let's build a Meteora, which then developed into, oh well, I might as well put that original flame top that I was going to put on the LTD onto my Meteora body. That's where we're at now. Here it is. I've still got a bit of sanding to do around the edges, but it's a really nice body. There's a little sort of blowout bit at the bottom here, which was a bit of bark. You can still see a score of it there. I might keep that in, depends on what the choice is going to be here. But if I'm not going to keep that in, I'll cut a chunk, I'll glue a bit of the offcut I have onto this, and we'll reshape and sand it before we do anything else. I've actually given the front of this quite a big round over, and I really like how it's looking. I've come this far and I've went to all the effort of building this body. I'm thinking I could just build my own neck and make it complete with my own custom made neck, and then it's a complete scratch build, and then we'll find a body or something to do with this later on for another video. So that's what I want you to help me decide. I want a vote in the comments. I want you to comment which one you prefer to see. Do you want to see the world's first LTD Meteora and probably me get sued by both Fender and ESP at the same time? Or do you want to see my first ever attempt at a scratch build neck? What do you want to see? Do you want to see a scratch build neck, or do you want to see this LTD neck on this Meteora body? Also, what color should I dye this? I'm thinking like a honeyburst, maybe a nice yellow to brown, just traditional kind of burst, and then leave the back natural. Or should I do some sort of crazy color scheme? Maybe just leave it all natural. Don't know. Let me know. Main thing is build my own neck or use the LTD neck. What should I do? Oh, decisions.